Hey there, and welcome back to another video. I am Ramona, and this one is a special, I guess you could say it's special, Christmas Eve little thing here, um, Reddit stories. This one is tell me about your weird, wacky, and wholesome. So here we go. Um, some of these are amusing, some of these are wholesome, like they say. Portion of my family is vegetarian vegan. So one of our family Christmas traditions is vegan pavlova. Marshmallow made from chickpea juice is surprisingly delicious. We do have real cream on the side for the non-vegan oldies. Well, that's nice that you're taking other people into consideration. That's pretty cool. Festivus for the rest of us. We started a new one last year, matching Christmas pajamas for us and the kids, and we wear them all day long. Very comfortable way to spend the day, honestly. I know a lot of people who do that. That's kind of like a big thing. The last few years, Christmas pajamas. I've never really done them. I don't match with people. It's just not my thing. But hey, if it's yours, more power to you. Next one, we have croissants for breakfasts. I don't know why, but we absolutely must have them. Well, see, that's a nice little tradition. Sounds good. Turkey, cheese, and cranberry sauce croissants are traditional for any Christmas get together. See, that's sounds pretty good, honestly. This person has two. When the kids were home, my wife and I always exchanged our presents on Christmas Eve after the kids were asleep. That way we could be romantic and loving without them being weird about it. And being in Australia, I have come to the conclusion that Turkish food is the ultimate Christmas lunch for a number of reasons. One year, it was going to be 42 degrees on Christmas Day, and my wife said, I'm not cooking. And I said, good, let's go order takeaway. The only non-chain restaurant that was open on Christmas Day near us was a Turkish restaurant. It isn't a holiday for them because they are Muslims. So I'm not forcing someone away from their family on a family holiday. The food is really good. It has been designed to be eaten while in conversation, unlike Northern Hemisphere food, which has been designed to be eaten hot in a cold climate. So the first time we did this, lunch turned into 4 hours of storytelling and laughter with no food coma and very few dishes to wash. That is actually a really cool, I like that story. That's really nice. Australian household here, but I'm English. Christmas Day with an extended family is usually all cold food for us. Prawns, ham, bunches of salads, etc. Delicious and leftover for days. Christmas roast is reserved for July. That's interesting. Yeah. Being a fellow Aussie, we usually have a water fight in between lunch and dinner. Well, that's a fun tradition, sounds like. I know a lot of people that used to, they'd go out and play a little football game or whatever. We do Christmas Eve instead of Christmas Day. So we get to spend the actual day just hanging out with no pressure. We wear matching PJs and do a puzzle and eat leftovers. One my husband doesn't love, in my family, we open one gift at a time instead of rushing through them and everyone opening their stuff at all at the same time. I think my favorite thing is the hurling of the tree, which is when my kids throw the dead tree off the balcony. Kid is now 5, but watching a 3-year-old manhandle a brown pine tree up and over a railing is a memory I hope I'll keep forever. That does sound pretty awesome. Yeah. I'm the drunk aunt that dresses up on Christmas Eve outfit, elf, reindeer, Christmas tree, and has to be carried home every year. It's tradition. Well, own it and be proud. We give our kids 4 gifts every year, no more. Something you want, something you need, something to wear, something to read, or for a decade, and so on now. That's actually a really, really cool idea. I like that. I've started doing a fun one for Christmas dinner over the last 5 or 6 years. Every year the meal has a theme. One year everything started with the letter P, one where everything had to be something they'd never tried or cooked before, breakfast for dinner, etc. This year we're doing fictional food, like from books, movies, and video games. See, that is a really cool, I like this. See, this is giving me some ideas. Maybe it's giving you guys some ideas too. That's cool. Staying home all day on Christmas is what I wish my family had done when I was little. Make the big family event on Christmas Eve or Boxing Day. I like the books the night before tradition and the Christmas pajamas. More for adults than for kids. The first Christmas, sorry. One of my siblings and I go out on Christmas Eve for a really nice restaurant dinner with friends, and then do I'm going to pronounce this wrong, a charcuterie board. Is that how it's pronounced? With homemade cocktails and, or whatever, and the morning of Christmas Day. Christmas is about eating. It should be thoroughly enjoyed. I have a theme each year. It's not a decorations theme. It's a gift and games theme. It's how at this stage where everybody else has gotten involved, and last Christmas we put everybody's theme suggestions into a hat to choose this year's theme. Themes I've had included storytelling, local, non-physical, and play. This year's theme is sport. I wasn't thrilled when I pulled it out of a hat, but it's been really fun trying to work out gifts that aren't obviously sporty. Not really a tradition yet, but last year the Kings had a basketball game, a Christmas night, for the first time last year, and it was a surprisingly nice way to finish the day. Early start, big lunch, lazy afternoon, then off to the game. We'll probably do this most years as long as the kids want to go. I grew up in Bisbane and never had hot food for Christmas lunch. My mom and I would eat all the prawns and oysters, and we'd have a cold barbecue chook and ham with yummy salads. We would do a pav, a sponge, and a trifle, and we would open a jigsaw and listen to the 12th man in preparation for the Boxing Day test and backyard cricket if we went to our cousins. We save up and go to the South Melbourne market before Christmas Day and stock up on everything: cheese, spreads, cold meats, olives, cakes, dried fruits, glazed fruit, dim sums, all that stuff. Then buy a crayfish and cook it in butter and garlic and have it with croissants with butter for Christmas Eve and watch carols by candlelight. Older extended family grew up in that area when it was all working class. If Costco has crayfish, we get it there because it's cheaper. It was a great post-COVID when crayfish was half price and we weren't exporting to China. We decided we didn't want to schlep around our infant daughter and everything that entails, nor did we want to travel on Christmas Day. So we told everyone that we were hosting Christmas. If they wanted to see us, come over. Every year I put on a big old Christmas feast, and I always make my special potato salad. We have croissants for breaks, for breakfast, sorry. A little bit fancy, but really low effort when you have so much cooking to do already. It's a lot of effort to host, and it's not cheap either, but it's pretty much my gift to everyone in the family. It does mean that we can also have as many drinks as we like. We don't have to worry about imposing on anyone, sleeping in uncomfortable beds, or wasting time on Christmas Day traveling. Our daughter is 13 now, and I am glad we decided to do this. For one thing, I'm far and away the best cook in the family, and if there's one thing I hate, it's a depressingly bad Christmas dinner, which is why my in-laws tended to serve it up. Ouch. Ouch. Someone here says they go for a Christmas swim before the presents. We do an op shop Secret Santa, which doesn't replace the irregular gift giving. It's just something done for fun, where everyone has to buy something from an OP shop worth $20 or under. My wife and I watch all the Star Wars movies every Christmas. We started in 2015 when it was less of a mission. Anyone who wants a stocking makes a stocking with their name and the year on it. When the kids were little, we'd buy a roll of butcher's paper, take it outside, and we'd use poster paint to leave hand footprints and then add Christmas-themed paint stamps. Once it was dry, we'd tape them up and let the kids go to town with stickers. Great memories. The leftover one was used as gift wrapping tags for close family presents. As the kids got older, the artwork obviously became more personalized, and we'd keep every single one. Likewise, we have a Christmas tablecloth that we use every year, and every year we write something silly like Grandma spilled the gravy here, or Lily's high chair was here, and the year. It's all about the memories. It's actually really neat. I like that one. Christmas light looking. Husband and I used to do this together when we were teenagers, and now we do it with our kids as is a tradition of ours. Stay up late on the evening close to Christmas and drive around to look at the best houses and the Christmas lights. Kind of, we have to do it over a couple of nights to space it out in the different areas, but it's a nice thing to go through out in the weeks of December. My in-laws started the Grinchmas gift game instead of everybody getting somebody else a present. You each buy something worth $20 and get a turn to pick a present. You can steal a present off someone else until everyone has had a turn. Best one was my brother-in-law put $20 of homegrown weed as his gift. It was highly sought after. We're also taking our soon-to-be Christmas lights each year, the year before Christmas. The street next to us has a giant Santa, so he gets a huge kick out of seeing it every day. My grandmother always made us matching PJs with our initials on them. She just passed away, so I think I'm going to start that tradition. That's a good way to remember it. I like that one. After spending one Christmas day in the car in traffic with two toddlers and a newborn, only to find really half-assed lunch and offer, I decided I was just going to do it myself. I host Christmas Eve as my family are from Europe, where they get the things done. Added bonus that it frees up Christmas Day so our guests can go see each other's family then. I go overboard on the sides and salads. That's usually fish, chicken, and turkey, roast porchetta, or beef brisket, and four desserts, plus treats, chocolates, and a fruit platter. I don't expect anyone to bring anything except their own booze, as we don't drink. It costs, but our family usually throws in a bit because they aren't housing they'd have to, and they don't want to do that anymore. This way, for us to get a slow start on Christmas morning, open gifts from Santa, have croissants with ham and cheese, and chill out, enjoying our gifts without the pressure of having to hustle out of the house early to sit in traffic. Some years we have other family to visit. Other years we have orphans Christmas, and everyone we know who's got no one else to go to come there and chill with us and eat from copious amounts of leftovers. That's actually quite beautiful. I like that one. But here's a very realistic one. I usually just go to work. I feel that. When I was young, I would always get an orange and a walnut in the toe of my stocking. Now I get a Terry's chocolate orange instead, which I must admit is much tastier, although we don't get stockings anymore. A few years ago, we hosted Christmas at our place. We spent years preparing, and weeks, preparing, and it cost us several $1,000s for food and gifts. I even made bonbons with numbers inside that meant every adult won a bottle of booze and every kid got a special gift. My husband's whole extended family arrived, spent 2 hours with us, and then vanished. We spent the next 2 days cleaning up. This year, I will be organizing a small retro-style party, a pool party, and cocktail night for our friends on Christmas Eve. The sillier, the better. We'll have Christmas lights all around the garden and underwater lights in the pools. All the kids can swim, watch a Christmas movie, eat rainbow popcorn, then crash in the lounge room. On Christmas Day, we'll keep it small, just the people we really want to see. No big effort, just pre-purchased food and gifts for the kids. I really want to enjoy a lazy Christmas Day in the sun with the kids. We always volunteer as a family a few days before Christmas, usually followed by lunch and dinner and together. Have to give back now more than ever. It also means we have good quality time together on Christmas Day, as a lot of driving after trying to see everyone. We have a metal pole. We have dinner, and then we have an airing of grievances, where we tell each other how we disappointed each other over the past year, followed by the head of the family challenging someone to a wrestling match. That's original, and I approve. We do a Christmas Eve treasure hunt for our kids. The treasure is always new pajamas and a book. And someone replied with, my parents would have a big present saved for last. When we'd opened our other small gifts and we were given clues, we had to follow to find it. It was amazing. Me and my sibs worked together to decode the clues to find the next one. And then we found our present. It just made it more exciting. One year we had a big joint present, which was a trampoline. The cool clues were all inside and little places, so we thought it would be something small. My parents were amazing. We make the pudding at the start of December, and everyone in the family comes to the barbecue. Great Nan and Pop and below, etc. We have to stir it and make a wish. Our family recipe and the tradition is everyone stirring and making the wish is over 150 years old. Only thing is it's been changed is the coins in the butter versus margarine versus lard or sherry versus brandy. Then while you're eating the pudding, cooks on the barbecue and is stored until Christmas. At Christmas, we eat a little bit of everything. If there's roast, seafood salads, Chinese, German Ukraine food, but pudding, custard, and chantilly cream is guaranteed, as is leftovers for Boxing Day. Also, we spot planes and pretend it's Rudolph on Christmas Eve for the toddlers. Post-lunch water bomb fight. Cleanup is a pain, so we switch to water guns instead. This is interesting. I've never heard of this. I like it. Must be an Australian thing, but it wouldn't work where I am because it's too damn cold. But hey, I kind of like it. We watch as many Christmas movies as possible over the month of December. It's like a challenge. My family did that last I think it was last year. My husband and son and I, we each picked like 5 or 3 year movies, and we forced each other to watch them, and it was fun. But I don't know that I want to do it again. The day before Christmas is spent baking cookies and preparing for Santa. We watch a Christmas movie, and then I'll choose one Christmas song that we love and everyone sings aloud. We take turns reading a page from each of our favorite Christmas book the night before Christmas. Our youngest child hands Dad the special key that Santa needs to unlock our door, as we don't have a chimney, and Dad climbs the ladder and places it on the roof so it's easy for Santa to get. We also have a Christmas tree decorating day in November. The oldest kids come for the day with their parents or their partners and their friends, and we put the tree up and decorate it. The kids argue about who gets to put the angel on top, and we have to think back as to who did it last. Then we have a big barbecue dinner. Hostage Teddy. He's an old red Christmas designed teddy bear that is tied to two brass trumpets and is part of the decorations. He is tied up by the neck to the flue of the fireplace. He's been hung up every Christmas my whole life. I don't care much for Christmas, but I do enjoy seeing him. Can I just say this thread is the most wholesome thing I've read in ages. Love to see the Christmas magic lives on. I do too. That's why I did this. One year, my smallest got a giant foil helium for his birthday in November, and it was still full and floating when the Christmas tree went up. Our Christmas tree is toddler height, lights up, and spins. My eldest attached the giant rocket balloon, so they had this thing spinning, floating rocket above the tree. Now every year I buy one of these balloons to add to our tree. It's cool because it reflects the lights of the tree, too. That's actually really cool. 3-on-3 basketball, trophies and all. We have swapped out Advent for just treats to a whole raft of things. Put up Christmas decorations, trip to the beach, Dad jokes, listens to Christmas carols, few lollies, watch an old Christmas movie, and then play a game. Make up your own things. It's much more family oriented. We even have made our own Advent calendar with our own Advent calendar with old plastic Christmas pudding pots from reverse garbage, long stick and tinsel. Long stick and tinsel. I don't know what long stick is, but okay. The kids are in charge of handing out all the presents under the tree, and once they have been opened, we go around the room and everyone shows what they got. One of ours starts with decorating the tree. We spring clean the house and yard on the Saturday closest to December 1st, and we decorate it on Sunday. No decorations or tree building occur until Merry Christmas. Mr. Bean is playing on the TV. Last year, we get a bit of a scare. We couldn't find the DVD anywhere. After 30 minutes of ripping the house apart, we found it. Left in the DVD player the year before. Streaming really has taken over this house. My very non-religious but Christmas mad mother always puts out a very modest white porcelain nativity scene. About 15 years ago, my sister started the tradition of Where's Joseph, which entails hiding him from all of our house in hilarious places, long before Elf on the Shelf, most recently seen in the dishwasher. Not weird per se, but a tradition born out of the first year my wife and I were living together, and we had no kitchen as it was just now Christmas morning breakfast is hash browns from McDonald's. We've done it every year for the last 9 years. Just Christmas hash browns. Always do crackers. Growing up, we'd head to Grandpa's place out in the country and do the traditional turkey thing. One rule was that we waited until after lunch to open presents. It was unbearable as a kid, especially since Grandpa would often fall asleep during dessert, and my parents, aunt, and uncle would wait for him to wake up before we did the presents. These days, my grandpa has passed, and I don't talk to my sister or my parents, as they are divorced, so we do something different each time. Since the family tradition is no more, my husband, whose family is overseas, and I open our doors to friends who don't have anywhere else to go on Christmas, but would like to have an excuse to leave their toxic family or too many kids or etc. We've had people visit on Christmas Day who did the big family thing, Christmas Eve, and live alone. Those who have no family left in the state. Parentified siblings leaving early to get away from the kids that aren't theirs. People who recently came out getting away from homophobic parents. Uni students who couldn't go back home for the holidays. And also a bunch of friends who just want to visit. Basically, anyone wanting a break or a bit of extra festive cheer. It's awesome. There's no set dinner time. Food is just on planners of things of food and whatever people bring, and cocktails, mocktails, cheesy Christmas movies, and board games are on the go. Every Christmas Day after lunch, we have a family water fight. My siblings' kids are now old enough to participate. As the designated fun uncle, it's my job to terrorize the kids. Well, good for you. Something that my family used to do when I was really young. After Christmas and before the big cleanup, we would take all the wrapping paper and packaging and we would make these little decorations and tiny hanging packages for next year's tree. Might not all sound like much, but when you were a kid, a year is a long time, and it's always a little exciting when it came time to set up the tree again and something we made from last year's Christmas comes out. After a few years, it kind of becomes an archaeological dig of Christmas past. That's pretty cool. So on my family, I'm going to share mine real quick before I end this video because it just got me a little nostalgic, I'll be honest. Um, I grew up with two parents and three sisters, no brothers. We lived on a ranch, so we were kind of remote. Our Christmas tradition was pretty much on Christmas Eve. We would have pozole. We would have queso and chips. We'd have tamales sometimes enchiladas, as I recall. But the pozole and the queso was there all the time. That slowly turned into taquitos because that's just what we wanted to do. We did all of our Christmas gift giving. Okay, not all of it, most of it, on Christmas Eve. The family gifts would always be open on Christmas Eve. But before that, we would do our chores and we'd go into town and look at the Christmas lights because we lived about 6 miles from the nearest town. And back then, a lot of people did a lot more Christmas lights. So that was a tradition. And on the way there and on the way back, we would sing Christmas carols in the car because my mom and dad had really great voices. My two older sisters had really great voices. Me and my little sister not so much, but but that was the tradition there. We'd do that. We'd come home. My dad would read the night before. What is it? It was the night before Christmas, and there was also a poem about Mary from the Bookhouse books, and I don't remember what it is, but I know it was about Mary and the angel visiting her. And then one of the kids, usually the youngest kid, would pass around all the family presents, and we'd go in turns. Yeah, usually dad and then mom and then the oldest to the youngest. We'd open one at a time, so it would last longer. My parents, we found out later, they just because when it was my two older sisters, because I'm quite a bit younger than they are. They were just trying to prolong the experience, so they just kept adding stuff, but it became a tradition. So we'd each open a present, we'd go around in turns and look at it. Those were always family gifts. Now, we'd go to bed normally, the normal time of night, whatever. I don't remember really watching movies or anything, but not on Christmas Eve anyway. Christmas morning was when Santa came. And that lasted because you have to understand my oldest sister and my youngest sister, there are 20 years apart. So the tradition stayed up for a long time. Santa would always bring the gifts on Christmas morning. When it got old enough to where Santa was no longer necessary, it switched to usually a pretty a family gift like board games or new movies or something like that. But that was always the thing. It was family gifts on Christmas Eve, and Santa came on Christmas morning, and then we'd have a big dinner on Christmas for a Christmas lunch. Invite family if they could show up, and it was almost always turkey and ham, and it was basically just Thanksgiving rerun. But that's just the way things were. The family would go watch football. When we got a little bit older, the older kids of us would go take a walk after lunch. One thing that came up once the sisters got married and started having kids, we started doing a gift exchange with the adults, well, 12 and older. We'd throw everybody's name into a hat, and you'd pick somebody's name. That way you didn't have to spend a whole lot on Christmas gifts. You would just have to buy one extra gift for, somebody else. And that got fun. We liked that. But then family moved away and we stopped being able to do Christmas together. So, but those are some of my family traditions, and pretty wholesome, I think. At least they, compared to some others. My husband and son and I really don't have anything anymore, unfortunately, because modern life has meant that at least one of us is always working on Christmas or Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. So, but it's nice to remember some of the other stuff. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Hope you all have a wonderful Christmas day, holiday season, whatever you're doing. And we will talk to you later.